So as far as like when going back to like saying adventurous track, like writing music, does like certain influences at that time like help? Like if a new band comes out, if a new track comes out, something you've heard like recently, or you just rediscovered a band, like does that influence your guys' writing?
Well, luckily, being a band from the 21st century, we've got just this insane like ocean of music that we can draw upon. Like it's possible with this that band Yesayer. Everybody's all happy about Yesayer or whatever, but like their official statement from I think Jaguar.
I have no idea.
Or secretly Canadian, one of those labels or whatever. Anyways, their big PR statement was that they didn't grow up with music and that they basically grew up in a vacuum, and so their ideas of music are all these like wonderful, magical, like pulled out of the ether. And that's bullshit. It's a whole bunch of bullshit. You cannot be a band who even has been on the internet and not know about other bands coming out. Like
that doesn't make
any
sense.
You don't even have to be vigilant about it. Know about bands that are coming out. Yeah, like we are influenced readily by other bands.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have like bands that we look up to, like that are like the archetype. We don't have like a poster in the room that's like, what would Black Sabbath do? It's something that people think we do.
Well, I mean, when we started out, we started out, it was kind of like a casual reference, or not a reference, but was influenced. Our music was heavily influenced, I think, by bands like Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple.
Yeah.
And that kind of set the standard for a lot of our early material, and even some of the material we write now. But, I think we have such an eclectic taste in music as a band. I mean, individually, we listen to so many different bands, and while we definitely have pulled from like classic bands like Sabbath or Zeppelin or Purple or whatever, but we still really enjoy a lot of different kinds of music and a lot of different newer bands.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, all I've been listening to lately is Fever Ray and Empire of the Sun, but what I think at this point right now, our willingness to kind of venture out of what we've traditionally done, with rock and roll or blues-based rock and roll is much greater than it used to be. So we'll see what happens.
That's cool though, but as long as the cool thing about that also is you got to take in the fact that people are actually referring or referencing Black Sabbath and these bands comparing them to you. That's a humbling thing. It has to be, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so flattering. Like it's not even funny. I mean, those bands are like gods to me, at least, and I mean, they're titans of rock and roll. But, it's just we don't want to operate in a realm necessarily of expectation. This, sounds like the music. We're not going to operate in a realm of expectations, but seriously, we just kind of want to do what comes naturally to us.
Absolutely.
Because when you don't do that, shit ends up sounding really contrived. People know it.
You're just typecasting yourself.
Like dogs or whatever. Like a dog can smell fear. An audience can tell that when you're being conceited.
Yeah.
And unless that is your main point, and there are some bands that conceit is their currency, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool. But like, dude, we can't get away with that. We absolutely can't get away with that. We're not fucking 19. None of us are gorgeous. Conceited doesn't work for us. No, dude, no. Adonis, okay, in a classical sense, some of us may be, an Adonis type. But as far as like what is attractive nowadays, wraith-like 90-pound body.
Yeah, nobody's a Justin Bieber.
Wispy hair.
Wispy. Well, Brian is like Justin Bieber.
His smile seriously can melt anything. Hearts, pennies, glass,
kitties.
Yeah.
Yes, this is my cat. Gibson.
Hello, Gibson.
And with the show from at Old Ironsides, like, how'd you guys come from that? How did you guys feel about it? Like the vibe, like it seemed like a packed show. That's the most packed I've seen Old I in a while.
Yeah, I mean, in reference to that specific show, I was a little bit lazy about that show. I didn't realize that it was a contest. I thought it was literally just for, a PR thing, like your music was coming through, and we were just like, all right, we got to promote for it. But Arden Park Roots promoted the fuck out of that show.
Yeah.
They brought a lot of people, which is great.
That's what they do,
downtown
yeah.
becomes a bubble. which means that, I mean, after a certain point, there's a threshold around here. So it was great. Like, I believe they're a Roseville band, right?
I think so.
Or Rockland?
Yeah, they're kind of all over. But yeah, some of them live like on a La Riviera area and Citrus Heights, so they're kind of around.
So I mean, but a lot of people that were there are not from downtown, so it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even if the express purpose was to go and to try to win this competition, like we already walked away winning because there was a good like 60 people who'd never heard us that apparently liked it. So that's great.
A lot of people were feeling it.
That's great.
We rarely get a chance to, you know, when we play at Midtown, downtown anyway, we rarely get a chance to play for that many new people in one.
That's true.
In one area, unless of course we're doing like the park, which is, you know, massive or whatever.
That's so different though.
Oh, it is. It's a completely different experience. Absolutely.
You get the kids dancing around. You get the
the
drunk people in the corner. Yeah, exactly.
Adore children, but like from a distance kind of thing. I get every time we play a show and there's fucking children running around, I get angry and nervous, and it's all wrapped up in one. And then my nervousness makes me more angry, and then I'm afraid that people can see how angry I am, which makes me even more nervous, and it's just bad.
You fucking weirdo.
I can't fucking stand it. I can't fucking stand it. You're up there on stage, playing a bunch of music.
And on that note, let me show you my band.
Better not bring your kids.
Like bunch of like fucking 9-year-olds. Like,
That's
what are you
awesome.
supposed to do in that situation?
They're everywhere, man.
And they just keep sprouting up. Malthusian.
Aren't you happy you did that?
Oh, man.
What do they call it? A Malthusian catastrophe.
Next.
All right. So after the whole Your Music Magazine stuff, like the next show or whatever, you guys got big plans as far as maybe a tour or more recording?
We're playing the Discovery Zone next week.
Expect a lot of nervousness. And
Oh man, yeah.
Gig at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, we're actually playing October 8th at the Blue Lamp, and that's gonna be our next like big show.
Okay.
And it's gonna be a really big show for us because it's
With
gonna be
Aurora.
the first show. Yeah, it's gonna be with Aurora, which is
Yeah.
our first like club
For
show
those
with
of you who
Aurora.
are unaware of who Aurora is an all-girl rock band who has just added a new member, Leonie Moore. So maybe you know Leonie's name. She's also a fairly well-respected individual downtown. So we get to play with them. It's great.
Nice.
It's a tie that we've been trying to gain for a while now.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. But it's gonna
Really
it's gonna be really kind of a big deal for us because it will be the first show that we're going to be premiering a lot of the new material we
Sweet.
worked on. Which goes back to your question about touring. Right now, I think we're just really focusing on writing. And we'll still be playing shows, and we'll probably be focusing more on playing out of town.
Okay.
And you know, getting a little outside of the regular Midtown downtown zone, you know, the old Ironside, Maryland's on K, and like Blue Lamp Circuit. But main focus will be writing new material and recording, and then touring after that, of course, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
So going back to like the releasing singles and stuff. So when you guys record, it's like you have maybe write 2 or 3 songs, record, and then instantly, like when it's mastered and whatever, instantly release it, or kind of hold on it for a little bit?
I would like to we're setting up a new site, whatever. It's going to just be like a Prieta URL or whatever. And it'd be nice for us to show the actual process too, like set up a blog where we put even the scratch tracks, like the demo stuff, like, hey, we practiced for 2 hours yesterday and we just recorded it. Enjoy.